Okay. Think we're Gucci now. Get the sign out the way. There we go. And get the window back up. There we go. That's the window I want up. There we go. Okay, now are we live, YouTube?
Let me see.
Are we live? That was rather
yes. Yes.
Oh, yes, we are live. Would you mind at everyone in the Discord being like, Mother Nature tried to cancel us. She's a libtard.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, please.
I'll put it in announcements.
Yeah, get the link. Get the link as well. Make sure. Okay. Holy shit. Mother Nature's a libtard. Holy hell. Okay. Holy fuck. Alright, we are live. We are here. We're good. Alright. Mother Nature tried to cancel me! Tough shit! Alright. So, I pretty much I went through the first 9 pages. So that's where I left off. I went, did I get to page 10? I did not get to page 10. I got a third through page 9 of the actual 20-page law. And I just wrote notes. I summarized everything as best I could to make it a little quicker because I didn't know how much time we'd have. I wanted to be sure I could go through this because the Vexorcist, standing behind me,
hello.
He is hosting Jackbox here in an hour and a half-ish. So I want to be sure I get through the law. The law being Assembly Bill number 2624, the Stop Nick Shirley Act, which is totally against the First Amendment, by the way.
In so many ways.
So many ways. Wait until I tell you the ways. Okay.
Let me count the ways.
Well, First Amendment. Here we go. Protects 5 core personal freedoms, religious freedom, Bill of Rights. A transcription. Here we go. All right. U.S. Bill of Rights, Amendment 1. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. So, there's 2 here of the press and petition the government for redress of grievances. There's 2 here! There's 2! In addition, by the way, you also have the 4th Amendment. What's the 4th Amendment? The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. But SteveDave, I hear you say, how is this law against the 4th Amendment as well?
Yes, how?
Boy, here we go. This is why I didn't do this this segment for a while, because it was really depressing on how many rights the government wanted to take away from you. When it comes down to California, it's one of the most depressing ones. So, Assembly Bill number 2624. By the way, all this is the signatures of the Chief Clerk of the Assembly. This that would be like the California House. The California Senate, Secretary of the Senate, and the private secretary of the governor can sign for it. Not necessarily Newsom, but Newsom's going to put his on there. All right. So
yep.
If Newsom is not available, he can direct the private secretary to sign it, and you know that vocal approval works. An act to add Chapter 3.26, commencing with Section 62.18.10. to Division 7 of Title 1 of the Government Code. We're not going to read all this shit. I'm just going to skip all the way down to page 9. where I left off. And we're going to read the rest of that shit. By the way, this is one reason I hate California. You know how I said 20 pages?
Yeah.
These pages are blank. I'm lying. Or these pages are blank. I know it. Why am I lying to you? Yeah. So, page 20 approved by the governor. That's all it is at the back page. Then you have page 19, nothing. Page 18, nothing. Page 17, nothing.
But it looks like they had a quota on how many pages it had to be.
Yeah. So they just...
And they didn't...
Threw some blank pages in there. Fluffed it up a little bit.
This is like that episode where Brian writes a self-help book and he's like, oh, that's not the first 10 pages. You finished the book for me.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, man. But here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got about halfway. I got a little over halfway through the law. So let's look at my notes, okay? Bang, because that's going to be a lot easier. The second thing is pretty much existing law. Gender affirming, transgender, or reproductive health, including abortion, care personnel, and patients who face violence and or harassment can apply for state... This is already in the law, okay? This is already in the law. Face violence or harassment can apply for state or local agencies to respond to public records requests without disclosing anything private. All this is a patient confidentiality law. That's all the beginning of this is. It's reminding you that patients have confidentiality when they get health care. Or what California considers health care and what the rest of the country... Well, let me change that.
Calls them fat.
The rest of the country that have brain cells consider death care. It also prohibits the distribution of private and confidential material from being posted, such as image and information about patients. The purpose being to avoid potential violence from a third party who may come across such information. It also prohibits people from selling, soliciting, or trading such information. Existing law establishes a course of judicial action and rewards upon a successful case, phrased as relief and injunction. So basically what they're going on about in like the first page or two, the first few pages here, is businesses and people have the right to keep their information private. How is that a bad thing? It depends on who you're keeping it private from. Notice how I had to put the parenthesis here and the parenthesis here. Because that information might be good, I don't know, to a surrogate or to a parent that might not be in the picture as much. There's some things going on here. We will get into that. This law also prohibits someone from putting information of another third party imminently or to imminently commit a crime due to the initial distribution of information. This law also prohibits someone from putting information of another for a third party to imminently commit a crime. Meaning, you can't put this information on if that means someone is going to shoot them the day after. Based on that information. How many people have I said should get the death penalty? Rather, what kind of people do I support giving the death penalty to?
Those who unwarrantedly touch people and those who unwarrantedly take lives of people.
That's right. They defend murderers.
It seems like common sense to me.
They defend rapists. I can't, how do you, like, censor sexual... Essayers.
Yeah, that's just why I say unwarranted touching or unwanted touchers.
Yeah, I'll think of a good way to do that. People who touch people in their no-no square.
No,
and
don't touch me.
People who touch kids. California. Dude. Why are you defending pedos? Last I checked...
It's California, there's Hollywood, I think we know why.
Yeah, but last I checked, a dead pedo's a good pedo.
A dead pedo is a reoffending one.
Yeah. Stop defending reoffenders. That's how people die, California. But you won't listen. You won't listen, we know. You're Mr. Edgy West Coast, we get it. We get it. Meanwhile, everybody's moving to Florida and Texas for a reason.
Yeah.
That information applies to a gender-affirming or reproductive health care personnel or patient. Yeah, defend the fact that I aborted my husband's kid or he'll shoot me. Defend the fact that I'm getting transgender surgery or my parents will kill me. Now you see where those come in? See where those come in now?
Yeah.
Main antro motherfucker over here. What's going on, Calicut? We are doing SteveDave versus California.
California. Yeah, Cal.
Starting October 2027, so there's time for them to alter the bill. Pray I don't alter it anymore.
Damn it, you beat me to it.
Gotcha.
He sounded like that ostrich from Family Guy. Ha ha.
Ha ha. Anyway, this bill establishes a confidentiality program to avoid all of the above negatives, establishing new terms for additional persons. It creates a state-mandated program with the intention of making legislative findings based on the protections offered by existing law. Existing constitutional provisions require limitation of access to this data for public bodies and people. This bill would make changes to that effect. Can you guess who they're trying to defend? So we can't say transgenders. We can't say women. So who else do you think the existing law under the Stop Nick Shirley Act is trying to defend?
Oh, let's see. Maybe it's the immigrants committing fraud?
Yes. So they're adjusting the law to account for immigrant centers. And oh my god, we haven't gotten to the best part, okay? Like, we haven't gotten to the best part yet, okay? It creates a state-mandated program with the intention of making legislative findings based on the protection offered by existing law, existing constitutional provisions. Okay, I already read that. The California Constitution, the one with the bear on it, requires a reimbursement to local agencies and schools and offers a method to process it, but with regard to certain mandates, not to make a requirement of the reimbursement for any specified reason not covered by existing law. So, what that basically means is, the California Constitution will require a reimbursement for the taxes that they are spending for these programs. But the reimbursement is not going back to the people. No, it's going back into the general fund for the state of California. They're paying themselves.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Paying themselves.
This just sounds like government investigated government, found government did nothing wrong. So government paid government and found government did nothing wrong.
Shocker! Alright, let's get into the good stuff. Chapter 3.26, Division 7, Title 1 of the Government Code, named Privacy for Immigration Service Providers. They forgot a fucking word. But no, that's not it. Alright. Anyway. 6218.10 is basically the legislative branch finds these facts. These are the facts they recognize and what may need to fix what they may need the bill to fix. Immigrant community support services have been subject to harassment, threats, and intimidation for their work. They have been subject to doxing, courthouse targeting, threats of violence, and coordinated campaigns. Because of the federal government's anti-immigration policies, these actions have risen to epidemic levels in 2025 with little slowdown recorded. That's not me summarizing it. Alright? That ain't me summarizing it. Okay? This is... Where is it? Here we go. Here we go. Finds and declares the following. Persons providing support services in the community have been subject to harassment, threats, and intimidation for their work. Face doxing, courthouse targeting, online harassment. These acts have, in their words, these acts have risen to alarming levels in 2025 and will continue due to the current federal administration's anti-immigration attitude and policies. Guys, they made the law to bitch about Trump. It's in the law. They're bitching about the federal government in the law.
Now, normally you would have my attention, but like you're bitching about the federal government kicking out illegals. Like I'm not like, oh, literally everything the government does is evil. No, there are actual jobs the government can do. Kicking out illegals is one of them.
And that's a job I want
Having
them
a
to
strong
do.
military is another.
That's also something I want them to do. There are things that the federal government does that are the better things for the federal government to do, not fuck with our lives.
Yeah, the 10th Amendment simply just says any government or any power not designated to the federal government is the states. So there is designated power to it.
Mm-hmm. But they made this law to bitch about the federal government. They are bitching about Trump in the law.
And basically calling him a racist.
California. Why? This is how as soon as I read that, I was like, yes, California, I get it now. 100%. I'm on board. I'm on board calling them California. They don't want America to be great. They want to be the state that drags us to hell. But now definitions. Tell me, do you know what an address is?
An address?
Yeah.
You mean that basically the number of the place in which you live?
Yeah. You know, how mail gets sent to you and stuff.
You know, your house and or apartment.
Or even like, you know, the business that you go to shop, they have an address. Yeah. So instead of address means residential street address, school address, or work address of an individual as specified on the individual's application to be a program participant under the chapter. Work, school, home, or business address. California.
Wow.
I summed it up in a third as many words. Alright, so designated immigration support services. Then you have designated immigration support services provider, employee, or volunteer. Then you have designated immigration support services facility. California, I made it one. Designated immigration support services and their provider, employee, or volunteer and their support services facility. Means people or businesses who provide legal, translation, counseling, healthcare, and humanitarian services to immigrants at places recognized as nonprofit by the state or listed under the DOJ's guidelines. Simple. You know what all this is. What's a domicile?
Your house.
Yeah, house. Your home.
Yeah.
Your house. According to them, domicile means a place of habitation as defined in Section 349 of the Elections Code. You couldn't tell me.
Do most people not know what that means in California?
You know what? With the way school's going, I'm not surprised.
With domicile.
By the way, what's harassment? If you didn't say repeated, unreasonable, and unwelcome conduct directed at a targeted individual that would cause a reasonable person to fear for their own safety or the safety of a household member, Twitch. Harassing conduct may include, but is not limited to, following, stalking, telephone calls, or written correspondence. I just put harassment means repeated, unreasonable, unwelcome conduct for the same reasons every time. Mostly based on hatred for a detail of the victim. Mikey, what's an image?
An image, I guess, a thing you see, a picture?
Picture?
Best
yeah.
one? Yeah.
Okay. So, image includes, but is not limited to, a photograph, a video footage, sketch, or computer-generated image that provides a means to visually identify the person depicted. I just put it's a picture. Image is exactly what you think it means, a picture. Guys.
Okay, wow.
I do this segment to tell you, stop thinking that any politician is smarter than you. They're not. Politicians are fucking stupid. They really have to go through this whole rigmarole and define simple things like address, domicile, harassment, image, with several long sentences. Or several run-on sentences, rather. Like, y'all, pick up a fucking dictionary. Even those definitions will be shorter. Personal information means identifying data about an individual that relates to them to a designated immigration support services provider, employee, or volunteer, and may establish them as present. Establish them as present at a facility. Basically, information that the people applying, the illegals, the immigrants, are using to apply at a immigration support service to be part of the program. What does publicly post or display mean?
To put up an image that is in a public forum, square, place where a lot of people can see.
Now, California did make this simpler this time. Means to intentionally communicate or otherwise make available to the general public. I put means to make public. Duh. California's full of retards, so there has to be some obvious ones or none of them are going to read this. You know why I stopped going after the ACLU? Because of stupid shit like this. Having to read through this. I do not envy some lawyers. But here we go. 6218.12. We're getting into the meat and potatoes of this. Okay? And here's where a lot of this shit is like, didn't they do that during election day? The law allows parents or guardians of minors and incapacitated people, not or, and incapacitated people, to apply to the Secretary of State to allow an address or domicile be given to the applicant they represent. Just gonna put the quiet part out loud here. You know, dead, otherwise unconscious.
Vegetable?
Yeah, vegetable. Didn't they do that during the election, I thought? Pretty sure they did that during the election. There's a lot of dead people. Fucking shit, I wonder what Big Bird's fucking address is if it's not on Sesame Street. Holy shit. If the applicant is fearful for their safety through a designated immigrant support facility, the application will be accompanied by a written and signed statement verified by the applicant and an additional statement written and signed by the facility or service provider. In addition, a workplace violence restraining order will be issued based upon threats to the individual or business. So it's worse then $4,000 fine and court costs. They're also talking restraining order.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, how bad is that, SteveDave? He can't walk into the building. I had to deal with a customer that was banned from the store that I worked at yesterday. And the store manager outright told me he's not even allowed in the parking lot.
Wow.
So, if that shit store, which honestly, it's one of the better stores I've worked at, to be fair. If that store has bans going out to the parking lot, what does that mean for California? You know, where bans could probably be, I don't know, within 100 meters of the front door.
Yeah.
That's about 300 feet for Americans. Dude, that's pretty fucking scary. You're telling me, right? If Nick Shirley even drives past this business, restraining order comes into effect.
That's fucked up.
Guys, it's worse.
So what? They're basically just house arresting him without having to actually house arrest.
Yeah, it's worse, guys. It's not just he has to show up in court and pay a fine. He could get a restraining order from the business, and if he goes near it or goes within that restraint, and not just the business. Keep in mind, this is a facility representing an immigrant. If that immigrant gets a restraining order, sees him on the fucking street. We know how leftists weaponize this shit, guys.
Yep.
It's worse. It is worse. Taking a drink. A statement will be made by the applicant's parent or guardian declaring such a breach of safety and introduction of fear. If that fear is on the facility, the volunteer employee will also provide the time in which they've been working for the Immigration Support Service. So, you know, this lets the immigrant report an employee treating them bad. That's probably good, but again, illegal.
Yeah.
Volunteer employee will also provide the time of working service. In addition, the Secretary of State will act as an agent for the purpose of mail correspondence in any case. So now you have a middleman in the form of the Secretary of State. California Secretary of State. I have caps lock on. Shirley N. Weber, PhD. Okay, let's look for Shirley N. Weber. Shirley Weber. Uh-huh. Nothing jumping out at me about this.
Oh, yeah, no.
No, not at all. People who are 77 years old have a totally great judge of character. They're not on the cusp of anything mental. No. Never. Why would they?
Nope. Not at all.
Okay. Keep going. The Secretary of State is responsible for keeping all records associated with the service facility, including personal information of immigrants. Just a quick reminder. And information pertaining to the business. Personal information, such as the address of the applicant, will not be provided for confidentiality and protection purposes. Applications with any of the above personal identifying information will fall under this precedent. The Secretary of State's office will be responsible for deciding the fee applicants pay upon submitting their applications. These fees, here we go, will be used to reimburse the general fund for California for any funds used in preparing applications, employment, and running facilities. The address confidentiality for Immigration Support Services Fund is part of the general fund. So, the part that they get their reimbursement is part of the general fund. So, okay, they're getting their own money back to be put elsewhere, right? Wrong. Because that money is that money has to be sent back by the Secretary of State, who can flub those numbers.
Oh, yep.
Remember, the Secretary of State is deciding the fees. The Secretary of State's office will be responsible for deciding the fee applicants will pay upon submitting their applications. So, while Muhammad is paying $35, fucking Bastian D. White, Esquire, from England, may be paying $75.
Yeah, totally fair.
The Secretary of State has total control over how much these people are paying. Upon proper application and submission and acceptance, the applicant will become a program participant for 4 years or until the age of 18. After becoming 18, a minor applicant can renew its participant status as an adult by following similar guidelines and independently submitting a new application with their own identification information. Anyone who willingly lies or submits false information may be found guilty of a misdemeanor. And I had to look this up. Most likely it will be a fine, but it can go up to 4 years of jail time with possibility of parole.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, that's what a misdemeanor is generally in California. Is a fine, but up to 4 years of jail time at maximum. Secretary of State's program participant cancellations. It can be done through a termination of a volunteer or provider. Oh, this is it. This is all I have. Shoot. Okay, well, at least I know where I'm at. It can be done through termination of a volunteer or provider or a change of employment status. The Secretary of State, this is where I don't like it. The Secretary of State retains all personal information submitted by an immigrant who was terminated or canceled from the program. Guys, we complain about companies selling our data all the time. If they're no longer part of the program, guess what protections go away?
Oh, yeah.
If they're not part of the program, and the Secretary of State still has all the information, guess what they can do now? Sell the information!
Oh. Yep. Prepare for a bunch of emails at best.
California is right. California is right. Okay, let's go down to page 9 now. Because we are at 68.14. A program participant may withdraw from the program participation by submitting to the Secretary of State written notification of withdrawal and their current identification card. More information. Certification shall be terminated on the date of the receipt of this notification. The Secretary of State may terminate a program participant certification and invalidate the participant's authorization card for any of the following reasons. So that this... Okay, so a participant can withdraw, and if they choose to, whatever day that submission is put in, that's the day they're no longer part of the program. There's no process. There's no getting their data back. That's it. They're cut off. Right there.
Don't get your data back, huh?
Yeah. So much for the things that you already gave the government. Meanwhile, the Secretary of State can terminate a program participant's certification and invalidate the participant's authorization card for any of the following reasons. The program participant certification term has expired. Okay, expiry. Certification renewal has not been completed. Fine. Maybe they don't want to be a part of it. Cool. The Secretary of State has determined that false information was used in the application process. We've already been over that. Misdemeanor. To qualify as a program participant or participation in the program is being used as a subterfuge to avoid detection of illegal or criminal activity or apprehension by law enforcement. Let me read that part again. Okay? Read that real quick. that false information was used in the application process to qualify as a program participant, or that participation in the program is being used as a subterfuge to avoid detection of illegal or criminal activity or apprehension by law enforcement. Quality Leering Center, anybody?
Mm-hmm.
So let me get this straight. The Secretary of State has to decide if the Quality Leering Center, which is under one of these, is guilty of illegal or criminal activity. All this bill is doing is saying, hey, Nick Shirley, you're not allowed to do that anymore. We have a Secretary of State for that.
And they're not going to say that something like that's illegal.
They're not going to say shit. They're not going to say shit. The program participant no longer resides at the residential address provided to the Secretary of State and has not provided at least 7 days prior notice in writing of a change of address. Okay? So they moved. A service of process document or mail forwarded to the program participant by the Secretary of State is returned as non-deliverable. So if the mail doesn't work, fuck you, you're not part of the program anymore. If the mail doesn't work, totally not their fault, totally not the Secretary of State's fault. Secretary of State, it's your fault. It's your fault. But I mailed it. You might have mailed it, but it was non-deliverable, so it's your fault.
Oh, we didn't get it. Oh, yeah.
We didn't get it in the mail, so it's your fault.
That never happens to even basic mail.
The program participant who is a provider, employee, or volunteer fails to disclose a change in employment, termination, or termination as volunteer provider. Now, that's what I kind of support. You don't want someone working for you that you fired. You don't want someone working for you that quit. They're not getting
obviously
paid. You know, that's... The program participant who reaches 18 years of age during their certification term has not renewed their certification within the 60 days of them reaching 18 years of age. Oh yeah, by the way, you have 2 months upon your 18th birthday to renew. I forgot to add that in the notes. So if 2 months go by and you haven't renewed the certification, you're not supported by the program. The Secretary of State may refuse to renew a program participant's certification if the adult program participant or the parent or guardian acting on behalf of a minor or incapacitated person or dead has abandoned their domicile in state. So, if the shitty parent leaves their kid alone, the kid gets taken off the program. If the adult gets taken off the program, so does the kid.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why I said shitty parent. If termination is based on any of the reasons under subdivision B or C, the Secretary of State shall send written notification of the intended termination to the program participant. The program participant shall have 30-day business days, which to appeal the termination under procedures developed by the Secretary of State. You have 30 days to please let Abdul Akbar come back into the program. And the Secretary of State can be like, okay. Please, sir, I left a horrible place. I love the freedoms that America gives me. No. Secretary of State. They get to choose. They get to decide. They are judge, jury, and executioner. They have powers that the governor doesn't have. In this. The Secretary of State shall notify in writing the county elections official and authorized personnel of the appropriate county clerk's office and the county recording office of the program participant's certification, withdrawal, invalidation, expiration, or termination. Upon receipt of the termination notification... Dude, anybody want to start a band? Termination notification? Fuck yeah.
That's a
termination notification.
Yeah, that's a techno band.
That's a technical. All right. Authorized personnel shall transmit to the Secretary of State all appropriate administrative records pertaining to the program participant, and the record transmitting agency is no longer responsible for maintaining the confidentiality of a terminated program participant's record. Read that again. The record transmitting agency submitting these records to the Secretary of State is no longer responsible for maintaining confidentiality. Guess what? The people holding onto the records, they can sell you shit too.
Oh, yep. Wonderful.
They can sell you shit too. And they'll make bank in China.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Following
Selling
termination
you
of program
cheap
participants.
Timu shit.
Yep. As a result of paragraph 2 of subdivision B, Secretary of State may disclose information contained in the participant's application. Yeah. Following termination, this outright gives them the legal precedent. Following termination of program participant certification, the Secretary of State may disclose information contained in the participant's application. Didn't I tell you this law gets worse?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't I tell you? Now it's not only
Yep.
not only a matter of we need to protect the immigrants from Nick Shirley. It's a matter of we get to sell any immigrants' information. We get to now. Now that I said no, the power of no compels you to give me money by selling your shit.
Oh, wonderful.
Isn't it? It's interesting, isn't it? Really fucking interesting. Now, if they use this to reveal to the federal government, why would they help the federal government?
No.
No. Why would they? If they use this information to reveal to the federal government that these people are going to do terrorisms and do terrible things, then perhaps this would be the exception to the rule. But we can't guarantee that, now can we? We can't. Here we go, 628.15. A program participant may request that the state and local agencies use the address designated by the Secretary of State as the participant's address. So, the participant may use a false address given to them by the Secretary of State. When creating a public record, state and local agencies shall accept the address designated by the Secretary of State as a program participant's substitute address. This is to, defend them, add the confidentiality there. As a participant's substitute address, unless the Secretary of State has determined both of the following. The agency has a bona fide statutory or administrative requirement for the use of the address that would otherwise be confidential under this chapter. So if it's supposed to remain secret, they can't use it. It's supposed to be known publicly. Like, if you started a business, you would want customers to know where your business is.
Oh, of course.
If Abdul Akbar decided to start a halal restaurant, yeah, that shit's gonna be public knowledge. The address will be used only for those statutory and administrative purposes and shall not be publicly disseminated. Yeah, that would be the only other reason you would not want your address thing, is to keep it secret. Did they just say that the address would remain secret if it's not supposed to be publicly? But that's what secret means.
Yeah. Of all things to, not put definitions on.
Oh, Jesus Christ. A program participant may request that state and local agencies use the address designated by the Secretary of State as the participant's address. When modifying or... By the way, a fake address, so they could go to the DMV, get an ID with a fake address.
No, but I thought that was so hard, especially when it comes to voting.
Oh, yeah. I thought that they're not supposed to do that. I thought it was illegal. But apparently the Secretary of State can hand out fake fucking addresses. Now you know why right-wingers are so concerned about all the immigrants coming in. Because look at all the fucking privileges they're giving all the immigrants when they come into California. When modifying or maintaining a public record, excluding the record of any birth, fetal death, or marriage, registered under Division 102 of the Health and Safety Code, state and local agencies shall accept the address designated by the Secretary of State as a program participant substitute address unless the Secretary of State has determined the following: the bona fide thing and the publicly submit, same thing as before. Same thing as before. They repeat it here, but, you know, normally I'm like, okay, why the fuck did you repeat it? No, they're doing this for consistency, and I respect consistency. I don't respect any of the stupid bullshit, but I respect that word.
Yeah, that one.
Alright. So, bottom line, other than those two things, excluding the record of any birth, death, fetal death, or marriage. So, like, their name, their address, their, age, their gender. They can use that fake shit.
That's interesting.
Yeah. A program participant may use the address. Now, specifically, they're focusing on the address, but I'm noticing a bunch of other things that they could change while they're at it. You know? A program participant may use the address. And why wouldn't they change it? Look at the top of the fucking notes. Transgender or abortion care. Fetal death. Transgender. Changing the document. Now you really see where this shit comes in.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Because they always gotta sneak that in.
They do. They do. A program participant may use the address designated by the Secretary of State's participants as the participant's work address. You know what? Fair enough. I don't want work knowing where the fuck I live.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I would.
Unless they have to mail you your check, I don't care.
Yeah. Which most of it is, you know, digital. Fucking. I would just, for the work address, I would just put the store's address, and then they mail it there, and then it's got my name on it, so they'd be like, hey, mail came in for you. Like, okay. You can't open that. The Office of the Security of the State, or the Secretary of State, my bad, shall forward all first-class mail and all mail sent by a governmental agency to the appropriate program participants. The Office of the Secretary of State may, in its discretion, refuse to handle or forward packages regardless of the size or type of mailing. What did I say earlier? The Secretary of State may terminate a program participant's certification and invalidate participation for the following reasons. Here we go. A service of process document or mail forwarded to the program participant by Secretary of State is returned as non-deliverable.
Huh.
The Office of the Secretary of State shall forward all first-class mail and all mail sent by a government agency to the appropriate program participants. The Office of the Secretary of State may, in its discretion, refuse to handle or forward packages, regardless of size or type of mailing.
So they can refuse the mail and say,
oh well, it was non-deliverable.
We didn't get it, so you're fucked.
Funny how that works!
Yeah,
hilarious how that works. I see that shit, California. Jesus can't help these people. Notwithstanding subdivision A, program participants shall comply with the provisions specified in the you shall comply to this. In section subdivision D of the Vehicle Code, if requesting suppression of the records maintained by the Department of Motor Vehicles, DMV, program participants shall also comply with all of the provisions of vehicle code relating to providing current address information to the department. So yeah, that fake address shit, not gonna work if you want to drive a vehicle. That's how we know about all of the big truckers that were foreign that were killing Americans.
Yep.
That's how we know. That's how we know. It's amazing how much we learn on this show. This is ridiculous. But alright, 621816. A program participant who is otherwise qualified to vote may seek to register and vote in a confidential manner pursuant to 2166.5 of the Elections Code. By the way, that is the part of the election code that lets one foreigner kind of sponsor other foreigners and count extra votes for them to participate. And election fraud isn't happening, right?
Yeah, no.
Never happens. Never.
Biden won fairly.
Oh, yeah. The Secretary of State may not make a program's participant address other than the address designated by the Secretary of State. May not make a program participant's address other than the address designated by the Secretary of State. So if you say, yeah, you know what, I'll take the address, the fake address you're giving me. Okay, well, guess what? It is now available for inspection. It's now available for copying. Since you are using the address I'm giving you, I get to do all this shit. Yeah. So, except under any of the following circumstances. So there is a way for them to use the participant's address. If requested by a law enforcement agency to law enforcement. So if a cop's investigating them, might need the actual address. That's fair. If directed by a court order to a person identified in the order. Yeah. If you gotta show up for court, you might wanna, be able to notify them. Yeah. If certification is terminated pursuant to paragraph 2 of subdivision B of section 6218.14. What did we read up there? B. The Secretary of State may terminate a program participant's certification and invalidate the participant's authorization card for any of the following reasons.
Yeah. This secretary really's got some power now.
Got some power here. Oh, but it's for the immigrants. It's for the immigrants. Yeah. The Secretary of State shall designate state and local agencies and nonprofit agencies that may assist persons applying to be program participants. Any assistance and counseling rendered by the Office of the Secretary of State or its designees to applicants shall in no way be construed as legal advice. By the way, you can't use anything we tell you in a court of law. Even if we told you that and that's why you did it, you can't use what we said.
This is not a lawyer.
This is not a lawyer. This is not my kind of lawyer. The Secretary of State may adopt rules to facilitate the administration of this chapter by state and local agencies. The Secretary of State shall administer this chapter together with and in the same manner as the address and confidentiality programs in Chapter 3.1 and Chapter 3.2. So, existing law, same thing. That's basically what it's saying. Everything that was in the existing law portion of this bill applies here. That's all that's saying. The Secretary of State shall provide each program participant a notice in a clear and conspicuous font that contains all of the following information. The program participant is authorized by law to request to use the participant's address designated by the Secretary of State on real property deeds. Change of ownership forms and deeds of trust when purchasing or selling a home. So you know that address that I gave you? You can use it to do all that stuff. The program participant, you may give a, by the way, immigrant, not a U.S. citizen, immigrant, land. Allow them to buy land, even though they are not.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Didn't I tell you this is worse than what Nick Shirley was talking about? California is housing illegals.
Yep.
But ICE is the bad guys, right? You can't see it.
Oh, California,
I'm
you're
shaking my
fucked.
head left and right. Like, this is a lot worse than what Nick Shirley's talking about. Like, this is not good. This is not good. The program participant may create a revocable living trust and place their real property into the trust, and to protect their residential street address from disclosure in real property transactions. Okay, you're buying you're buying this house to move. Where do you live currently? Oh, you don't need to know that. You do not need to know that.
This is not need to know information.
This is not need to know information. Also, and notice how I've also been defending some of these immigrants as well with this. The program participant may create a revocable living trust. Excuse me? So, they get the trust. They die. Where does the trust money go? If they haven't listed anybody because they want to remain anonymous in this United States, guess where the money goes?
Probably to the secretary.
Secretary of State, yeah. Yeah. You want to know how the Secretary of State's gonna fucking afford all this shit? Yeah. Some immigrants are gonna go missing, and not in the good way.
Yeah. So this isn't even good for immigrants in some cases.
Some cases this ain't good for the immigrants. A list of contact information for entities that the program participant may contact to receive the information on. Receive legal services for the creation of a trust to hold real property or obtaining a name change, including county bar associations, legal aid societies, state and local agencies, and other nonprofit organizations that may be able to assist program participants. Okay, so basically what that is the Secretary of State is providing each program participant a way to change all that shit. You know those telephone scammers? Hello,
Yeah.
my name is Charles David.
We called you about your car's extended warranty.
Just imagine, if you will, California, it's a bunch of immigrants between now and 2027. And they all happen to sound like this. And they are helped by these programs so that they may start their business in an address given to them by the Secretary of State. And they are able to make a living now by telling old people to buy gift cards for them. And it's perfectly legal.
Oh, totally legal.
Oh, good rice, good curry, good condilery.
Oh, my cow.
Oh my cow. The Secretary of State shall submit to the legislature no later than January 10th of each year a report that includes the total number of applications received and all that shit. You know, basically, keep us up to date with what you're doing at January 10th every year. Secretary of State shall commence accepting applications under this program October 1st. The Secretary of State shall submit to the legislature by January 1st, 2030, a report that includes the total number of pieces of mail forwarded to program participants, the number of program participants. So this is basically a way for the state to be like, you're doing your job, right, Secretary of State? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm sure the oversight won't be as completely terrible as the Iranian nuclear oversight that was supposed to be happening.
Yeah, we have, 16, so we have 6 more pages to go over, I think. If you include 4 more pages. A person, business, or association shall not knowingly post the home address, here we go, of a program participant or of the program participant's residing spouse or child on the internet, knowing that person is a program participant. So, if Nick Shirley comes up to you after seeing you drop your kid at the Quality Learning Center, he's not allowed to do that. To ask you about that shit. Because of how they word it, specifically. Specifically intending to incite a third person to cause imminent great bodily harm to such an individual that is likely to occur imminently or threatening to... They're just saying, if you do this, they could be victims. Here it is.
If you point out their crime, they might be arrested.
Yeah. If you point out their crime, they might be a statistic of police violence.
Or police...
brutality?
Profiling.
Oh, profiling, yeah. This section shall not apply to an interactive computer service or access software provider. Unless the service or provider specifically intends to incite a third person to cause, blah, 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 all that shit. So unless that provider goes up to someone and says, go fuck this person up. That's the only exception. He's not allowed that information then. 6218.19. A person or business or association shall not knowingly publicly post or publicly display, disclose, or distribute on the internet personal information or image of any designated immigration supporters with specific intent to do the following. Incite a third person to cause harm. Again, we don't want that. Threaten the designated immigration support service or a co-resident of that person in a manner that places the person identified or co-resident objectively reasonable fear for their personal safety. I feel threatened because Nick Shirley is asking about my business. Time to sue.
Yeah. He's asking if I am a leering center.
Yeah. Yeah. A designated immigration support service provider is made public as a result of the violation of that first paragraph. Several paragraphs, you fucker. Also, you have all of this blank space, California. Like...
Mostly in their politicians' heads.
Or any individual, entity, or organization authorized to act on their behalf may do either or both of the following. Bring action seeking injunctive or declarative relief in any court of jurisdiction. If a jury court finds that a violation has occurred, it may grant injunctive or declarative relief and shall award the successful plaintiff court costs and reasonable attorney fees. Bring an action for money damages in any court of the competent jurisdiction. In addition to any other legal rights or remedies, if a jury or court finds that a violation has occurred, it shall award damages to an individual in an amount up to a maximum of 3 times the actual damages, but in no case less than $4,000. How much is your privacy worth to you? If Nick Shirley's doing it, $4,000. But if the Secretary of State is fucking doing it, it's fine.
Yep.
It's fine. Didn't I tell you this was worse?
Oh, you did.
Oh my God, Nostradamus was right again. A program participant or an individual entity or organization authorized to act on their behalf may make a written demand to a person, business, or association not publicly post, publicly display, blah, blah, blah. So threaten them. You can threaten them with legal action. You can threaten them. You're fine. A person or business or association in receipt of a written demand shall not publicly post or publicly display, disclose, or distribute on the internet the personal information or image of the program. No filming that Leering Center anymore, Nick Shirley. Also, they have to be specific.
Illegal immigrants scamming you deserve privacy.
Yeah. With the specific intent to do either of the following. Great bodily harm, again. Threaten the program. in a manner that places the program participant or their co-resident an objectively reasonable fear. Oh, he's scaring me. He has a camera in a public place.
He's touching my illegal activity.
He's touching my illegal activity with his eyes. Fucking, like, this is just SpongeBob and Patrick again, fucking looking at the map. That's all this is. Only, instead of Mr. Krabs coming in and being like, is there a problem?
Patrick,
it's
do you see anything familiar with this map?
It's our game board.
Gave to a piece of
paper. Yeah, it's just that, only instead, Mr. Krabs, instead of being, is there a problem? He has the words federal government written over his name.
Yep.
And Patrick and SpongeBob are named Nick and Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley.
A written demand made pursuant to paragraph 1 shall include a statement declaring that the program participant is subject to the protection of this chapter, describing reasonable fear that the program participant or their co-resident has for their safety. A demand made under the paragraph 1 shall be effective for 4 years. So guess what? 4 years later, he can do it again. And he will have to receive the threat. So there is a loophole that Nick Shirley can use. However, in 4 years, will it still be Newsom? I don't think it'll be Newsom or that black lady that I immediately forget the name of. You know, the Secretary of State. I don't think it'll be the same people in 4 years. Just a hunch. It might be someone Spanish or someone. Anyway. A program participant whose personal information or image is made public as a result of a failure to honor a demand made pursuant to paragraph 1. May bring action seeking injunctive or declarative relief in any court. If a jury or court finds that a violation has occurred, it may grant injunctive or declarative relief and shall award the successful payment of court costs and reasonable attorney fees. So, the rest of this is, the rest of that section is basically saying, guess what, if Nick Shirley does this shit, $4,000, potentially jail time. Because it's a misdemeanor.
For journalism.
Yeah, for journalism. For journalism. It's exactly what it is. Freedom of the press, by the way. 62:18:20. It is unlawful for a person to post on the internet with this. Well, okay, you just ended there. We're talking about California. With the specific intent that another person imminently use that information to commit a crime involving violence or a threat of violence that is likely to occur against a designated immigration support services provider, employee, or volunteer, or other individuals. Hang on real quick. Hassan Piker lives where? Los Angeles, California.
Shocking. Nice mansion, too.
Yeah, my brain's... Wait! My brain is working. It is unlawful for a person to post on the internet with a specific intent that another person imminently use that information to commit a crime involving violence or a threat of violence that is likely to occur against a designated immigration support services provider. Okay. Yeah, because there's no right-wingers that are working for illegal immigration support providers. There's no right-winger working for those. I was about to say, shit, we have Hassan in a loophole! Damn it. No, we don't. Fucking... Fuck. But if a right-winger's out there working for one of these, hey, just pointing my nose and pointing at you, like, just, complain a bit, because, Hassan Piker is kind of threatening that camp. A little bit.
Kind of a piece of shit.
Kind of a piece of shit. He said things on the internet, you know? Like, just saying. Just saying. He believes in California.
Oh, yeah.
Likely to occur against a designated immigration support provider, employee, or volunteer, or other individuals residing at the same home address, the personal information or image of a designated or other individuals. Okay, so basically, you can't post other people's personal information or images on the internet. Didn't say with their permission or without their permission. Nothing in this section shall preclude prosecution under any other provision of the law. This chapter shall become operative October 1st. Section 2, the legislature finds and declares that this act imposes a limitation on the public's right of access to the meetings of public bodies or the writings of public officials and agencies within the meaning of Section 3, Article 1 of California Constitution. Yeah, it does. You shouldn't do that. Pursuant to that constitutional provision, the legislature makes its following findings to demonstrate the interest protected by this limitation and the need for protecting that interest. Individuals providing support services to the immigrant community have become increasingly subject to violent threats, harassment, intimidation. In order to prevent these acts of violence, it is necessary for the legislature to ensure that the home addresses of the individuals are kept confidential. You want to hide illegals. You want to hide illegals, California. That's what you want. You want to hide illegals. You want to maintain your power for years to come by hiding illegals on American soil. That is what is going on. And when you read the law, it becomes extremely clear what is going on here. It ain't just about Nick Shirley and other people getting their First Amendment rights threatened. It's giving rights to these people that shouldn't fucking have them in the first place. That's what it is. It is, there it is, in black and white. In black and white. They're just blatant about it. But they know nobody's gonna read the law fully. Well, I did, motherfucker. I did, motherfucker. I did my notes. Banta, how fucking dare you?
Read more than the headline.
Yeah. And you wanna know the best part? You wanna know the best part? This shit was happening. And this shit was planned. You know how I can prove it? You know how
It's a pretty bad plan.
It's a pretty good plan. It's a pretty good plan. You know how I can prove it? Beginning of my notes. Abortion care. That's women's rights. The 19th Amendment. Then, gay rights, gender affirming, transgender, all the shit we saw there. And now, illegals. Now illegals. Privacy for immigration service providers. It's in the title. Oh, right. Also, kind of forgot to include something. Hang on, let me get it real quick. Don't worry, it won't take long. It won't take long. They forgot a word that I need to type out in a really fucking big font. And put it on the screen. Ooh, that is way too big of a font. Let me...
Oh, Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 4. Pre-order now. No thanks. I'm not doing...
Nope.
Never went into that game and not starting now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, guys, let me do this. Open this window first. And then grab that. So, guys, when you see this shit coming out of California, the privacy for immigration service providers, don't forget that they left out one really important word.
And that word, and today's word of the day is...
illegal!
Illegal!
Illegal! Illegal, 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 illegal! Somebody make the SpongeBob me illegal!
I know! All I said, there's illegals afoot!
Illegal! Illegal! but let me tell you. It's bullshit. No, I gotta click on it.
Time to read, so
Yeah, we do need that edit. It's fucking great. Are you ice?
Yep.
Sorry, kid, we're retired. You can't be retired. There's illegals afoot. Illegal?
Looking at the facts, drawing his conclusions. Don't listen to the It's a bunch of delusions. Once the hyena reads it, he writes it all down. So the judge doesn't have to make the stupid frown. It's bullshit, bullshit. You never really know what they're gonna say next. It's bullshit, bullshit. Don't have time to read, so here's the main text.
It is bullshit. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. Okay, I don't have any palette cleanser. Let's see if there's some funny shit. Oh yeah, that's the turtle. That's what the face looks like, by the way. WNBA turtle.
Oh my god. Non-binary turtle.
Yep, that's the face. Let's see if there's any funny things. I, the aquatic creature, can't get in the pool now because of you bitches. Wow. Oh, Mary Sue's. Okay, yeah, we can end with the Mary Sue's biggest adventure yet. I can't wait. That was a little awkward. Mary Sue's biggest adventure yet.
Okay, let's go.
She was a little cross-eyed at first. August 25th! That's right, next week we're going to have a new adventure of Mary Sue to look at. Oh my goodness. Mikey, we only have like 25 minutes before your Jackbox thing. Do you have a link?
Yes I do. I will put it...
Pop that shit in the chat.
Here we go. That's the actual stream. Come on out. It's fucking great because we say shit that is just borderline crossing the line offensive.
Just borderline.
We're respectful racists and sexists and bigots and yeah.
Guys, it ain't just London Bridge that's fallen down. It's the Western states. And if this shit is allowed, Trump, or you know what? I'll put it this way. If Trump doesn't do it, President Rubio is gonna fucking do it.
Oh God, yeah. And that's the thing, is like he's Florida family from Cuba. Yeah, he has no sympathy for the shit.
But let me tell you guys, that was the quiet part out loud. Because it is out loud. It's there. It's public information. This shit's gonna happen. And you may not consider yourself part of the conversation. Holy hell. Holy hell. We are in for something these next 2 years. Alright? I'll be paying attention to California.
Oh, yeah.
If you can make a baby in 9 months, they have 2.5 of those before Trump's out of office. 3 if they start now. Think about that. Yeesh.
Think about making a baby? Okay.
Well, I mean, you have a woman to do that with, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm thinking about.
Shit. Alright, guys, I am out of here. I will be over there in about 20 minutes to play some Jackbox with my friend the Vexorcist. And tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, the Silence Banter episode 7. What did I call it? I DM'd you the name of it.
Oh, what was it?
The Dean of Accountability?
Something like that. Yeah, it was Dean something.
Yeah, the Dean of Accusation University.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep, the Dean of Accusation University. That's the tagline. We will also have a wonderful furry artist by the name of Petrichor joining. I love her art style. It's great. It's absolutely fantastic. I may ask her to draw reference images for some of the Yin Crew, so I can start Yin Crew music videos.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, hell yeah. It's gonna be fun. Alright, dude. I'm out of here. Much love to you and yours. And I guess to grab from the Friend of Exorcist channel, may demons fear when you wake in the morning. Because I know California will shudder when I take my first breath of air.
Yeah.